beautiful sight you just saw there, a local working on a pottery material, so to speak, for want of better description. So it's not a lack of tourism potential, natural resources, some of them that come with the mystique of it. I mean, talk about the Oshobo Festival, the Groove, Shogo, the Emunike Cave, and all of those rivers and streams that come with ancient stories and legends. It's actually an abundance of it. But why are we not harnessing all of those potential and turning it into forex? Let's have that conversation this morning as we welcome you to this next segment. And let's also welcome Mr. Kingsley, the plug. Okoro is your tourism plug as far as tourism in Nigeria is concerned. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Welcome to the Morning Brief, Mr. Okoro.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, we're glad to have you. So I just mentioned a few, but you are the tourism plug, Mr. Okoro. Walk us through those brilliant, magnificent tourism destinations in Nigeria that that we overlook, and we go after others in other countries, and the potential that they carry, not just for those of us at home, to magnify them and market them to the outside world, but also for foreigners to come and witness nature's endowment of Nigeria.
Hello?
Did you get the question? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you go back again, please?
Okay, Mr. Okoro, I'll take it a little slowly this time. Walk us through those brilliant, magnificent tourist sites that we have in Nigeria that we pretty much overlook and prefer to go outside for our vacations. And perhaps you can also tell us some of those things that make those places compelling, such that we can begin to take a second look at it and ensure that we keep all of that foreign currency, all of the money at home by patronizing these tourism sites.
Yo, hello.
Hello, Mr. Okoro.
Don't worry, we'll have this conversation.
Mr. Okoro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I can.
Okay, okay. Yes. I'd like you to walk us through those tourism sites in Nigeria that we pretty much overlook, but that have the potential, to transform our economic fortunes and bring in foreigners, to those sites.
I do say, I can hear you, but I can hear you. Like I do say, the tourism sites in Nigeria, we have a lot of potential, a lot of amazing places, lot of amazing places we can explore and make money from. Yeah, like places like Obodo Patronage, Yankari Games Reserve, Gwara Waterfalls. These are lovely sites. Like I do tell people, what we have in this country, I don't think most African countries have it. What Nigeria, especially what we have, like in Abuja, for example, we have about 10 waterfalls in Abuja. Just here in Abuja. In Abuja, we have 10 waterfalls here in Abuja. We have damn beautiful sites here in Abuja. I'm not talking of other states, like I was in Obodo Patronage recently. Obodo, I call Obodo the ninth wonders of the world. Obodo is a lovely site, amazing, amazing. I'm so passionate about the growth of local tourism here in Nigeria that we don't need to visit anywhere to explore other countries. Instead of, I think, instead of we taking our money out to other countries, we have a lot here. But again, it still falls back to the management. Like I do say, you can't go to places like Obodo Patronage. In terms of nature, yes, it's fine. Lovely sights, beautiful landscape with the waterfalls, amazing. But again, management, where you go, no light, no water, no food. Imagine you going to places like Yankari Games Reserve. I was there recently last year. I went with my team with over 70 people. We got there was no light in Yankari Games Reserve. And I was like, how will this attract tourists? How will it attract visitors here? I met with the management and the excuse they gave was not good enough. So it's so sad. It's so sad. Very, very sad. Even while I was in Yankari, do you know there's a place in Yankari called the Wicked Warm Spring, where you wake up, if the weather is hot, the water gets cold. If the weather is cold, the water gets hot. Amazing sight, the Wicked Warm Spring. While I was there, some people came all the way from Canada to come and explore this place, but they couldn't sleep over there. The problem was like, how can I come over all the way from Canada, but no good accommodation? They left almost immediately. So these are what we are missing. This is as a country. So I believe the government, I believe this new administration needs to do a lot in terms of tourism.
All right, the plug. Before we go to the challenge, because we know there are challenges, maybe you, just to follow up on Bukola's question, maybe you walk us through some states that, because I know you've mentioned Yankari, I know you've mentioned Abuja, I know you've mentioned Cross River, but I know there are more places. Since you're the plug, I'm sure you could list some places so that Nigerians who don't know get to know these places. I'm asking that question because when you look at how our structure financially is, a lot of states are depending on federal government for money when they have this tourism potential. So which other states, besides Cross River, the places in Yankari and Abuja, that you know that have this potential?
We have places like the Osun Osogbo. Yeah, we have the places like in Nasarawa. We have one of the tallest waterfalls it's called along Kefi Road. Big waterfalls there. In Niger State, we have the Shiro Dam. There's a place called, I think I sent the video, if you can check. It's called I call it the Niagara Falls of Nigeria. Beautiful site in Solija. It's less than 15 minutes to there. So less than 45 minutes to this site. Beautiful site, but it's been abandoned. No government presence there. We just go there. There's nothing really going on there. We also, in Calabar also, we have the Agbokin Waterfalls in Calabar. These are lovely places. In my state, in Delta State, we also have one of the biggest rivers in Delta State. So these are places I strongly believe the government needs to look at. We need to look at it. We can't just ignore tourism. We can't ignore this site because it's really, it's sad going to these places without the presence of of government there. So that's it basically.
I know that in spite of all of this, people still choose to patronize these sites. And I mean, you're a typical example of someone who is championing the cause. I mean, I call it the plug, right? You also have this hikers club, the K Hikers Club, essentially, where you have a group, I don't know, is it hundreds or thousands of people sign up who get to hike around the nation's capital, Abuja, and the rest. So there are actually people still patronizing this in spite of patronizing the sites in spite of these challenges. So I'd like to know, one, what's your favorite tourist site in Nigeria? Maybe we can use this to recommend.
Maybe give us top 5.
Your top 5 tourist sites in Nigeria. And talk to us about the potentials in the nation's capital.
I think Obodo Cataract comes from me first. It's amazing. Obodo is so amazing. Yeah, like I just said earlier, it's the 9th wonders of the world. Obodo is not bad. There is also Badagry, the beach in Badagry. Lovely, lovely. Lovely. Yankari will be my third, in as much as they have their own challenges there. Yankari too is good because of the safari, the warm spring, then the safari walk also. Imagine going to places like Yankari, waking up in the morning, seeing elephant there, going there, seeing lions. I hope you know we have lions in Nigeria. We have elephant, we have hippopotamus, we have antelope, we have water bugs. These are animals most people don't know. And again, I think there should be a pamphlet. Once you arrive in Nigeria, especially at the airport, the international wings, or even the local wing, there should be a small pamphlet to show our tourist site attraction in a small magazine, so that people will know that this place actually exists. Let's go back. Let me come down to Abuja. Abuja has a lot of places, There's a place in Oshafa before Buhari. It's called the Pottery House. Do you know the president of US was there? He visited there, that was in 1991. He went there to see how they mold pot and clay and cups. There's also a place, it's called the Osman Dam. That's one of the biggest dams in Abuja. Quiet, serene, lovely place. The view is amazing. You can even go there with your family for vacation. Just go there, spend some time there. There's a place very close to the studio here. It's about 20 minutes drive from here. It's called the Pendant Dam. It's a dam in between the villa, the Nav Valley, and Okoro. I hope you know that from my survey, 60% of our Okoro residents don't know there is a dam there. Love the place, and it's open. These places are open. So that's it.
So for you, Mr. Okoro, is it a lack of awareness, that makes the patronage of these sites, rather on the low side, particularly on the part of Nigerians, or is it just our love for whatever is exotic that compels us to look outside, for tourism attraction?
It still falls back to lack of awareness, because most people don't know this place exists. Even the biggest stone very close to us here, that's the biggest stone in Nigeria, the Zuma Rock. There is no government presence in Zuma Rock. There's no awareness that this is the biggest stone in Nigeria. While passing there by 7, 8 in the evening, it's dark. You won't see a signboard that, oh, you're welcome to Zuma Rock, for the biggest stone in Nigeria. It's just there being ignored. I think it's been ignored for the past hundreds of years. There's no government presence there. Awareness, like I just say, even in our school, our children should know that there's a place called the Zuma Rock Yankari Games Reserve. Other places are other new sites are also popping out. But the ones we know, our generation know, is still the old curriculum that we were taught in school. That's the Yankari Games Reserve, the Guerra Waterfall. That's what is being taught. I don't know, I'm not sure. Kids of nowadays will know places like, even Obudu. Yeah, Obudu that is here. I don't think they will know places like Obudu. I'm not talking of the dam, even in Abuja here. How about the Karisha Waterfall, the Rafin River in Nasarawa? These are places we need to visit. These are places that can generate us money, good money. People come all the way from Canada to come and explore the Niagara Falls. I just show you guys on the screen now. All the way from Canada, people came all the way from Singapore to look at this site. I've taken almost all races on tours. They come and look at this spot and look at, wow, what is the Nigerian government doing? And as much as we have the insecurity, people are still coming. People are still visiting here. Last week, we were over 200 that went for hiking. And as much as there's insecurity, people still want to explore. People still want to visit this site. So what I think the government needs to do is to create awareness. There should be awareness. There should be a pamphlet at the airport, in our institutions, that this place actually exists. That's it. That's my point for now.
All right, Mr. Okoro, I can see how passionate and almost frustrated all at the same time for you, because you're just worried like somebody in that space why, it's more like what I'm hearing you say is, why are we ignoring money? So, talking about the money game, investors.
Yeah, yes. Places like here in Abuja, Abuja is a very, very boring town. Abuja is a boring town. Places like Karishi Waterfalls, big waterfalls, that is being ignored. It's been there for thousands of years within the secondary school. The biggest waterfall, Bukola Kayode. If you get there, you'll be amazed that, wow, this thing actually exists here in Abuja. No government presence, no access road to this place.
So my question is,
fetch us money.
Okay, my question is, now that government is not doing anything, do you think we should be thinking of privatizing these places? Is that the next conversation, so that private investors can come in and take this thing?
Are they willing to partner? Yeah, the question is, are they willing to partner with private firm, private individuals? I was in Gura recently, last 2 weeks. I met the locals there. I was like, if someone come in here and take over here, what do you guys? They said they want to let work from our hand. That's their fear. Even in Yankari Games Reserve, we've wrote to the management, we've wrote to the state government in Yankari that here can actually work. Yankari can generate us good money. Good money in Yankari, money we are missing in Yankari, but are they willing to partner with private firms? Most of these people, especially the locals, we think jobs will be taken away from them. I think that's their fear. I can be in places like Yankari, no light, no food. Nothing is going on there. It's just a place, it's just a building that is being ignored for years.
Oh dear, quite a number of issues you have raised.
Private people are they willing to partner with them?
Good question you've raised. I know there's a Minister of Tourism now. There's now a Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy.
And there's a Ministry of Tourism.
You get. So we have ministries that have been positioned. What they're doing is another question entirely. I know Dayo Adedayo has this, book of images about tourist sites in Nigeria. And for the first time, I was wowed about this site in Nigeria. I have a copy at home by Dayo Adedayo. Maybe people can get the book. So speak to us about what it really costs if you want to explore these sites. Because Jeff talked about the money. So let's really link the money together. Is it expensive? If I want to go to these tourist sites, how much do I need to save to ensure I have a good time? How many tourist sites can I cover?
You don't need to break your bank account, Kayode. You don't need to break your bank account to visit this site. You don't need to. Where the biggest stone that is in Abuja is free. The access is free. You can just pass there and look at the biggest stone. It's free. No entrance fee to look to see Zuma Rock. To go to Obudu, instead of wasting thousands of dollars visiting places like Kenya and the rest. Obudu is less than 150,000 now. You spend good 4 days there. Good 4 days to see the view, have access to water,
can you say that again?
Accommodation, everything. 150,000 now to explore Obudu.
Is that with light or without light? Is it with power supply or without power supply?
Although the light, no, with power. Although they ration the power comes on in the morning and in the afternoon they turn it off. But even at that, it's not as bad as people think. Yeah. Obudu is less than I'm doing Obudu next month. It's still 150,000 now. It's 150. It's not as expensive. Our tours every Saturday, I came to explore this site in Abuja, the waterfall. It's less than 5,000 naira. People get with transportation. We provide transportation for people. We even give them food to explore this site. That's what we do. It's not expensive. It's not something to break your bank account, to break your account. It's not at all.
Well, Mr. Okoro, we know that there is a Tourism Regulation Act in Nigeria, the one establishing the NTDC, and the NTDC is empowered to protect tourists from crimes and theft, and he also collaborates with security agencies to ensure that tourism sites are safe. How effective that cooperation is, to its responsibilities, we're not particularly sure of now. But you said something critical earlier on about how the locals would rather not have those sites privatized, because of the fear of the loss of job and revenue that comes to them. Do you think, what role do you think local governments can play in this, such that we can monetize all of these tourism sites? Because we're always looking at the federal government. What role can the local government and traditional institutions who are around these communities, what role do you think that they can play?
It's to educate them. It's to educate the locals there. Let them know that they are not taking this thing away from you. They are trying to develop your community. It's just develop awareness, education. Let them know. Let them know this. I've met with locals in Niger State. I've met with locals in Bauchi. I've met with locals in Calabar. It's still the same fear of them taking over. You want me to collect our job for our hand? What to collect our job? But no, I told them that if these people take over, you guys are going to get them. But now, Obudu is doing the right. Obudu now. I was in Obudu recently. I noticed they've changed a lot in Obudu. They've employed the locals there as security, as cook in Obudu. So they can also do this in places like Gra Waterfalls, Yankari Game Reserve, and other places.
Besides that, what about administration at the local level to harness all of the potential? What about administration at the local level to help harness all of the potential that accrues from tourism?
I didn't get you.
What about administration from the local governments to help harness all of the financial potential in tourism sites?
Okay, when you talk of administration from the local government, the issue now is, at the local government, do they care about this local site? That should be a question we should be asking now. Instead of we assigning the administration to them. Do they care? Do they care? I'm giving you facts, and these are facts. I was in Gra Waterfalls. I met them. They said the last time government president came there is over a year. They don't come. These guys don't come there. Go there. It's just empty. It's empty. So even if hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
We can hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, even if the local government would like to partner, are they passionate about the growth of tourism in their ward, in their community? Are they passionate? Do they care? That should be the question we should be asking them.
All right, Mr. Okoro. One other question I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned it in passing. Maybe walk us through some of the value chain in the tourism sector. I know there may be logistics people, I don't know. You just walk us through the entire value chain. So if Jeff, Bukola, or Kayode chooses to say, I want to go into tourism, and you want to advise as a plug, what exactly, which part of the value chain would you advise? So if you walk us through that value chain, maybe people can be able to pick and choose what works for them, those who want to invest in the sector.
I think it's, sorry, Jeff, please. What did you say?
I was saying that the tourism sector, I'm sure, has value chain. So if you can walk us through that value chain, some people may be in charge of logistics, some people may be in charge of maybe tour guides and, you know, all of the value chain, so that in case somebody wants to invest, he knows or she knows exactly where to put his money in to get return on investment.
Oh, okay. Like the places that I mentioned earlier, places that the power, accessibility, good road should be in check. Good road, security. In as much as we have insecurity, of course, I won't still talk down on the insecurity in places like Yankari and Obodo. We have the presence of the Nigerian forces there. They are there. But it can be better also. It can be better. My point is there should be, like places like Grawa, you just showed me now, the Grawa waterfall, that's one of the biggest waterfalls in Nigeria. There is no accommodation there. There is nowhere they sell food there, no refreshment there. It's just an open ground where you just come, look at the waterfall and go. Why should I go to visit a place like, if I'm coming all the way from Lagos, if I was not in Abuja now, maybe coming all the way from Lagos or Edo State, and I decide to spend like 4 days in Gwara, I might just to go to the Gwara and look for a place and go and lodge. There should be accommodation there. They should put in accommodation in these places. In these places, in as much as Yankari have their shortcoming also, they should work on their power, food. There should be food. There should be a lot. There should be side attraction also there.
Right.
A lot.
Well, let me show you what people are saying about this conversation. Apparently, Nigerians are enjoying this, and I'm glad that this is coming out as it is. Oluwashinayomi on X, Oluwashinayomi Toyi at Adams Toyi says, I was at Ikogosi, Ekiti State last weekend. I can tell you that public-private partnership works more. The resort there is world-class, says prove me wrong. And then there's a picture attached. And I think it speaks to the point we're making about public-private partnership, that there are opportunities when private partners with public. And I think that's what's working in Ikogosi. Victor O says, I say it all the time, tourism will give Nigeria more money than oil if the FG focuses on it. So that's what people are saying on X about this conversation. And I'm glad you've talked about some of the value chains. Yes, you want to respond to that?
South Africa, as of last year, generated 4.8 billion naira from tourism. 4.8 billion. Rwanda generated 1.8 billion. 1.8 billion from tourism.
That's dollars.
What are we generating in tourism? Dollars. Yeah. In dollars, not in naira. In dollars. Our eight national park in Nigeria is generating 1.80 million a year. 1.80. One is they pay big Nigerian artists, the likes of Whiskey or Davido. That's what 8 parks are generating in a year. It's so bad.
Wait, say that again. 1.80 million naira. That's what you said.
Yes. 8 parks. When I'm talking of 8 parks, I'm talking of the biggest parks in Nigeria. I'm talking of Yankari Games Reserve. I'm talking of the one in Niger State, Edo State, the ones is in Taraba, and one in Taraba also. That's 180 million naira. That's what we are generating in a year. Something they can pay Whiskey or Davido. That's what a whole park is generating.
We shouldn't be laughing, but this is really funny.
It's really funny.
The way you put it, Kingsley, that is not fair at all. Why would you say that? Go ahead, Bukola.
Mr. Okoro, it's funny, but okay.
Bukola, do you know there's a place, Bukola, Nigeria is fine, Nigeria is beautiful. I'm so passionate about tourism in this country. Go to places like Taraba State, the highest peak in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Visit Taraba State. You'll be amazed. You'll be shocked. The Mambila Plateau. These are places you want to go there. The weather, everything from the weather, from the agriculture, everything is different from what you see in our urban area in the city. Eh? But look, like I said, no accommodation is not there. No accommodation, awareness is not there. No much government awareness there. In places like Mambila Plateau, wasting, pure waste. How can you go to a place like Mambila Plateau in Taraba State? I will spend 18 hours to assess the place. I will go there and I don't have good accommodation.
Okoro, I'm curious. I'm sorry, Bukola. I'm curious to ask because seeing how passionate you are about this, if I'm a governor, I would like to sit with you on a table and have a conversation. Have you had maybe government officials, maybe the minister or a governor of a state, knowing what's and the great work you do?
The Minister of Tourism, I think she's open to work with us. She has reached out to me, and with time, she reached out to me last month. Definitely, the Minister of Tourism, they've reached out to me, and I believe maybe I guess she's busy. Maybe once she's less busy, she's definitely going to come back and we talk. Well, because we have a lot of potential. We are wasting millions here.
In fact,
focusing on oil.
We're going to have her on the show.
Now, for God's sake, for over 60 years, focusing on oil. What if the oil well dries up? What next? What are we going to do? Look at Abuja as of December. Abuja, people are looking for where to go in Abuja. No places to go in Abuja. Everywhere was jam-packed, down to the parks, zoo. Where was jam-packed? No places to go. If these places are put in order, people are willing to travel. People are willing to travel. People are willing to explore the site.
Yes.
Well, take a look at this one. Pardon me, Bukola.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's take a look at what people are saying about this on X. Uwanayo Eze says, I have always wanted to visit Obudu Cattle Ranch, but the poor management keeps discouraging me. Well, it looks like Kingsley saying things are getting better there. So sometimes it's also good, now that we're sure of security to a large extent, and he says that there's some, power supply, and then the atmosphere is good. It's always good to try these things. New Nigeria movement, I don't know if you guys saw that, hashtag CTV Morning Brief says, Nigeria is not in short of tourism assets and potentials. The problem is awareness than our culture. Our problem is less of awareness than our culture. We are averse to vacation, especially domestic tourism. Our focus is international tourism, which is volatile, unsustainable. Says those places are dilapidated due to patronage. So, I mean, that is an indictment on all of us, really. When you want to go on vacation, where do you go to? Bukola, you were going to ask a question.
And it's good that all of these things are coming to light, so that those in charge of management, can reflect on the challenges and propose whatever should be proposed to the government. But that's also good inspiration from that post from that writer on X, which leads me to my next question, Mr. Okoro. If you were to address Nigerians who have fears expressed by this writer from X, for instance, they want to go to the Mambila Plateau. Looking at that picture alone from the internet, the plateau calls out to you, the splendor of it. But I am concerned about insecurity as I travel from whatever part of the country I'm coming from. What would you say to them?
Yeah, because like I told you, I was in Yankari with over 70 people. We went to two Costa bus. I was in Obudu also recently, December. Those terrains are quite safe to an extent, and we have the Nigerian security presence there. Yeah, we have them there. Those terrains are quite safe. But I wouldn't want to visit far north. I wouldn't want to go with my members. Visiting these places are very, very risky. Like places like Yobe, I wouldn't want to go there. But places like, in as much as we have insecurity and in as much as we have the high rate of kidnapping, I won't say I haven't witnessed such before. Places like Obudu Cattle Ranch, Yankari Games Reserve, Gura Waterfall, these terrain are safe, and we have military presence there also.
All right, Mr. Okoro, I just want to read a few tweets, and then you just respond as we wrap up. No matter some of the posts on X, no matter how mind-blowing the tourist attractions are, with insecurity, nothing can be generated. Let's fix security first. I know you've addressed that. tourism should be given Nigeria more money after agriculture if a public-private partnership is well harnessed. So these are the things people are saying. This person is saying, okay, we've read one on Yeze and all of that. So maybe your last thought to the people who are, to everybody. I want you to speak to the government. I want you to speak to the private sector. I want you to speak to citizens, because we need to be our chief marketers ourselves.
Hello, you're breaking. I can't hear you, please.
I said, in closing, I want you to speak to the government, the private sector, as well as citizens, as far as tourism is concerned.
Okay. Let me start with the state government. Please fix these tour sites, these tour places. These things should be fixed. There should be power. The accommodation should be very, very okay. It should be fixed. And don't underpay your workers. Recently, as of last year, Obudu was shut down for a few months because they don't pay their workers. How won't you pay your workers? How will you pay people promoting the brand of Nigeria, promoting the image of Nigeria, not paying them? You're underpaying them. This should be fixed. This should be fixed. This should be fixed.
All right.
It should be fixed.
All right, Mr. Okoro, we want to thank you very much. I still can't get out of my mind 8 parks altogether in Nigeria make a total of, is it 1.8 million?
180.
180.
I think it's at 180.
Maybe we need to do a report on that.
We need to do a report.
Follow up on that one.
You should.
We need to do a report on that.
Bukola, I can't wait to take you guys on tour, okay?
Yes.
No, we're coming.
We're coming.
Morning brief on the tour.
We're going to do morning brief on the tour. To support tourism, we're going to do morning brief on the road.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley Okoro. He's known as Kingsley the Plug, is a tourism enthusiast and promoter in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoro, for your time, insights, and invaluable contributions on the program.
Thanks so much.
Speaking of marketing Nigeria, there's more to come as we speak with a man who's also marketing Nigeria with his own trade on the international community. Stay with The Morning Brief. We'll be right back.